It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports. And coming up next, we'll see Kenneth Walker. He'll be a focal point of his offense this week. It's the Seahawks and the Lions, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
Coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. Well, they're brought out by a former #1 overall pick coming off one of his best seasons ever in year 7 of his career, now in year 8, Jared Goff.
And he certainly had his share of struggles in the opener, threw a couple of ill-timed interceptions in the game. So that was something that was harped upon all week in practice. Because if he's going to help this team be a winning one, he can't give the football away like he did last week.
Opening play, and Goff wants to pass it. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. He's trying to get it to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And it's second down. You talk about this Seahawk defense. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. #1 in the NFL against the pass.
Normally you want teams to gel late in the season, but this unit, they've been terrific right from the word go. Came in as the #1 rated unit against the pass in the NFL after just 1 week.
27 yards there, a first down.
If your sympathies lie with the defense, you understand how tough it is for linebackers to run with a guy like this. He's going to slip out of the backfield and then work in the middle of the field. And sometimes those defenders get preoccupied with other people moving, and he finds open space and makes a nice play.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Goff now looks to throw. That's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. Now Goff looking to change the play. Back to throw again. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Devin Witherspoon. And the Seahawks are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and you can't do it all on 1 throw.
So the Seahawks ready to take over on offense, and it is a first-time Pro Bowler who leads them out, Charles, in his 11th year now, Geno Smith.
When the Seahawks named Smith the starter last season, it gave him an opportunity he wasn't sure he would get again. And then he became one of the best quarterbacks in football and sustained it across a full 17 games, winning comeback player of the year. Saved his career with last season and keeps the Seahawks as true contenders.
And right away, he lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to him.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. third down. Here's Walker. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. 5 yards, and that means they come up short as they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now here's Michael Dixon as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Landry now on the return. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Now a late signee let go by Minnesota in June. It's Dalvin Cook. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
They run again on first down. Cook, and some room to work. Touchdown, Detroit. Dalvin Cook, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Lions get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Well, we've said it many times. He is always a threat to go the distance anytime he's got the ball in his hands. And on this occasion, he did just that.
Well, he's definitely the guy that makes this offense go. And when you're an RB1, running back 1, you've got to be willing to be patient at times as well. Not every run's going to be the home run we saw there. But once you get that opportunity in that opening, you take full advantage.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
Do you almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
To throw is Smith. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Play action, it's Smith. A quick throw there is incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and now it's second down. You talk about this Lions defense. They find themselves just a couple of spots outside of the top 10 defending the pass, number 12 in the league.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
Here's 3rd and 6. To the air again, Smith. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 43. It's a 10-yard pickup, and that's enough to move the chains. Smith on first down. Pass incomplete.
Offense was moving a little bit, having back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Geno. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
Well, he left no doubt about that one because even though he hasn't left the pocket, he's got a receiver in the area, so it's not grounding, even though there's no way that ball was going to be caught.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense. I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Again, it's Cook. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down. The Lions had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine. St. Brown seemingly catches everything, including that first down. Brought in 106 passes last season and is tied for the most catches ever in a player's first 2 years. Not sure how he fell to day 3 of the draft, nor is he. And the Lions, they found themselves a franchise receiver.
That pass caught. It's Williams. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 25 yards that time. Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a first and goal. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Back to the ground, Cook. And he takes this one in for the Lions. Touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his second rushing touchdown of the year. And the Lions have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the second time. And definitely good blocking at the point of attack. And you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line. And he's able to take it into the end zone. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. Esker's going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. Now Geno on first down. Throw left side, taken in by Slayton. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Throwing now is Geno. It's complete to Lockett. And Lockett going to pick up a Seahawks first down as the tackle made up near the 35. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Now it's the rookie from UCLA, Zach Charbonnet. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. But not much on that run, Charles. No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column. It'll be a gain of 5. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver, that makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Back to throw, Smith. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. Now Landry. A great return there of 22 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. Good returns on the last drive. He hit the end zone for the 2nd time. Good returns in this first half, really.
Yeah, good returns for his team. Really good returns for the guy. You know where I'm
fantasy.
Going. Darn right. Those fantasy guys who have him on their team, they're rejoicing right now. And they have a high expectation that what they've seen already, they'll continue.
You talk about fantasy a lot, but you don't. Why don't you just play? You know?
I'm not good enough to play a fantasy game. I enjoy watching.
You're an analyst. You're an expert.
I mean, you were a champ last year. Keep it up.
5th place.
Okay. Well, that's a champ in my book.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Goff going to shift him around. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
He took a shot there, but boy, was that ill-advised from my viewpoint. Coverage was awfully tight. How did he get away with that one not being picked off?
Meanwhile, Goff's throw here into the hands of Jones. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Amon-Ra St. Brown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener that makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. The Seahawks going to take over now late in this first half. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. On 1st and 10, Smith. And this is incomplete.
Yeah, offenses always try to be smart about when they're trying to dial up a screen to the running back because they understand you can only go to the well so many times in a game without the defense starting to anticipate the call.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. On the give, here's Charbonnet. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Taken from just outside the 30. Now a hit and a loose football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Goff on first down. Open man, this is Lewis. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 23 yards, the final tally.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Goff now to throw. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Now Goff on 3rd and goal. Rolling to his right. He's going to be brought down a few yards short of the goal line, and they're going to be unable to stop the clock from here. So close yet so far, and that's going to be how this first half will come to an end. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, and it's the Falcons who are out in front in the second quarter. Desmond Ridder, responsible for the lone touchdown in the game thus far as he's thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we move to H-Town to check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And you can see there it's the visiting Colts who have the lead in that one. Jonathan Taylor with a touchdown run. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Minnesota Vikings. DeAndre Swift, over 100 yards rushing with a touchdown run. It was the veteran Dalvin Cook who took center stage in that first half. He had a nose for the end zone as he wound up with 2 touchdowns on the ground in those first 2 quarters. Final adjustments being made in both locker rooms. They are just about set to get back to football in Detroit. And for the call of the second half, we'll kick it back up to Ford Field and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive? on that play sheet for any one of its coordinators. They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive. But maybe cut into it a little bit, as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Smith. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Geno now to throw. That's complete to Slayton. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 27-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Throwing is Smith. That's DK Metcalf running the slant. He's got it. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
On 1st and 10, it's Charbonnet. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. And from the gun, here's a handoff to Charbonnet. And he'll be tackled after a gain of 4. Still 3 yards short. 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. But down this big, we know that they need touchdowns instead of field goals, but now it's add insult to injury because they can't even get the 3, Charles, on the excellent block there by the special teams.
And it certainly felt to me like the special teams consider themselves an extension of the defense, which has played well for them. They have a nice cushion. They didn't want to allow any points, any opportunity to cut into their lead. A big-time play by those guys on that side of the ball.
Now he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now Goff. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
The good signal callers will never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Here comes the Lions punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. Now it's Lockett. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Smith. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Fielded at about the 28.
A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards.
And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
2nd down, they go right back to Cook. And he'll be taken down after a minimal pickup, and that will take us to the end of quarter number 3. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down. Back now at Ford Field. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
The jumbo set out there, 3rd and inches.
Goff going to keep it himself.
And he's going to have the Lions 1st down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Able to push his way through. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building and bullying. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try to finish off the game.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Good gain there on 1st down. That keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They're in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. the keeper. Here's Goff. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Jared Goff with his second touchdown of the game, fourth of the year. And the Lions have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the fourth. So, Charles, the bad taste from that opening week loss, that's just a memory now. This has been a very strong performance as they score once again.
Yeah, I know it's only week 2, but you're exactly right, because this team felt like they let one get away in the opener. And not only were they determined to not let the same thing happen here, they knew that they had to correct a bunch of things. So everything that went wrong in game 1, they took care of business with it in game 2.
Esker's going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Smith. A quick target here, complete to Metcalf. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Off of play action, here's Smith. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off Byron Jones, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Facing this fourth quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock, they know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. They'll try the middle with Cook.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down. Goff going to move his guys around a bit.
That one looks like he'll throw here.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Devin Witherspoon. And the Seahawks are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Now Geno. Left side complete to Lockett. And he's brought down. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. Here's Smith.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
it's going to be caught downfield by Slayton. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan and especially the execution.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. This one winding toward a conclusion, and how would you assess how the secondary is playing?
Well, we just saw them take another shot downfield that was incomplete, correct?
Correct.
So my assessment is that if anyone's played really well in this...
And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play, but still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you